So tell me about you. You have this amazing interest in vacuums. You probably know more about vacuums than anyone I have known. So when did you first become interested? How did you know this was going to be a lifelong passion?
So ever since I had not my first Christmas, but my second Christmas when I just turned 1 years old, I was asked what I wanted for Christmas, basically. And unfortunately, due to my low spectrum of being shy with people, I couldn't say what um, I wanted. So Santa Claus had this suggestion when I sat in this web. He told me, how would you like to have a vacuum cleaner? And ever since he said that, I got like super excited for some odd reason. I honestly don't remember any of that. This is what people have told me and what they video record me as a child. So ever since I got that excited, they knew what I was going to want for Christmas. And so when Christmas came, I got like a toy Dirt Devil vacuum, and I've been playing around with that a lot. I mean, I just like took that thing wherever I go, not just inside the house, but also outside as well. Like I'd use it to vacuum my sidewalks, vacuum the grass, and even there were some pictures that my parents took of me when I was sleeping with the vacuum next to my bed. So that's, I guess, basically what got me very interested or obsessed with vacuum cleaners, and the rest has since been history. It's it's not like I say like a hobby that I have interest in vacuums, but it's more of like a meditation type of thing. Like I think about vacuums, I talk about vacuums, just anything that I'd love to have anything involved with vacuums to help keep my head calm, just keep me happy, especially with the craziness going on. Whenever stuff like that happens, I just go right into the thing that just meditates me pretty much.
It's wonderful to hear someone who knows themselves so well, knows what they love. A lot of people spend so much of their life, searching for what they're excited about. And so did this toy actually vacuum, or was it just?
No, it didn't actually vacuum. It was just a little toy. You just put batteries in, you turn it on, it makes like a little buzzing noise, and that's basically about it. So
If only they'd given you like a college dorm size vacuum, they could have actually had you vacuuming the house or something. So I know last time we spoke, you told me about, these really expensive vacuums, like the kind that come door to door and that kind of thing. I I think a lot of people think, oh, it's just overpriced because of the way they're selling it. What are they going to do that's so different and special? But what's so different and special. So can you tell us?
yeah, ever since the um, the pandemic came, um, lots of things have affected the business and manufacturers. That even includes door-to-door salespeople as well. Um, at first, they were thinking that with lots of people staying at home, that then they have more success with door-to-door sales. But unfortunately, that has proven to not be the case. And as a matter of fact, we got a couple of companies now. Um, we'll put Filter Queen, for example. They have been struggling so horribly with door to door that they decide to step up and allow um, independent dealers to now sell vacuums that are just hard to sell through door to door. It's not just because um, lots of people um, would have a hard time getting to buy from door to door, but it's also because before, and even before then, companies like these were struggling as well. Lots of people were not home, and so they were trying to come up with ways to where it can be more accessible with people to whenever they go out shopping, and they can see that pop up to their aisle, and so um, that's basically what's changing, partially with the door-to-door sales. Basically, is that they're getting moved to online like Amazon, but also to independent stores, just so that uh, major manufacturers like Filter Queen, Rainbow, and Kirby could still stay in business. And even as a matter of fact, Kirby just recently got sold to another company just because they were struggling, and so now they're coming up with ways to figure out how they can stay in business as well.
And the ones you mentioned, they're so much more expensive than the kind you can get at the local store. Why are they so expensive? Are they going to last longer? Are they going to do a better job? Are they going to keep your floors cleaner? Like, what explains that?
So basically, yes and no. So part of the reason they're expensive is because they get sold through distributors where they um, usually get paid to do like the whole labor and doing like the demos in people's stores just so that they can make something as they're going by, because unfortunately everything you go through um, door to door isn't really necessarily like a free demo. As a matter of fact, there's been lots of controversial reviews online to where salespeople would not leave unless if, they get something out of the house with it, whether if it's money or just um, trade in another machine for one of theirs. I mean, they got to make something at least. So that's one of the reasons why they're expensive. But the another reason why they're expensive, that's also just like what you talked about. They're actually built unlike whatever you buy through department stores. It's not like they're going to give you like discount price that super big market stores would demand to sell with them. Um, they they're built very well. They're usually proven to be a lot more reliable, and they actually do clean very well. As a matter of fact, it's been proven online that if you go to YouTube or go on some online vlogging services where you could actually see people demoing the Kirby or Rainbow compared to other vacuums, and you can even see through your eyes that these vacuums sold through door to doors pick up a lot better than most of anything sold through department stores, and that's usually because vacuums sold through department stores and they have to sell them for super cheap. So you have quantity. They have to drop lots of quality down. They have to try to um, live up the expectations that consumers would want to look for in a vacuum cleaner. Like it's got to be bagless. It's got to have the swivel turning, and it's basically I've got to have some things that consumers would want to expect from the vacuum cleaner, but not what they are usually looking for to have a vacuum. Because the thing about buying a vacuum cleaner is we just buy a vacuum cleaner to clean carpets. What Unfortunately, these vacuums sold in department stores is all about marketing. Marketing is what gets people to buy products from discount product stores, and that's why lots of people are buying more and more vacuums through department stores than through door to door. So that's another reason why, in one of my humble opinions, that door to door vacuums are usually one of the better vacuums. Not all the time, but usually some better.
And I know you last time told me all kinds of elements of the vacuum that are important about. I think you said like some part like shakes the sand down and then the other part takes it out of the carpet. I wasn't too familiar with that, so can you explain a bit more about that?
So yeah, what you were just talking about is basically what's called agitation. And basically what that is the thing that you get your carpets cleaned is what's called a brush roll. That's basically turned from the motor of the vacuum, and that's basically what cleans carpets. And so, anyways, it's not really like a thing where it just picks up dirt one side to go. Like I pick up some hair, some feathers, some seeds off the floor. But um, what is not the most popular thing that people talk about that brush rolls can also do is what's called agitation. So basically, you have the bristles in the brush roll um, spinning at 5,000 RPM to where when it hits the carpet, it's basically a mini earthquake that's like shaking the carpet to where you can actually see the dirt bouncing from the carpet. So, back in the old days, people would take their rugs outside and then they beat it with the stick. That's basically um, what you basically need to clean your carpets is by beating all of that dust and even some dirt that and grime that you can't even see from your eye that's actually hidden underneath the carpet. As a matter of fact, whenever people would rip their old carpets out and before they put new ones on, they actually sweep the floor first. And what they would actually sweep up is they would see a bunch of dust coming out from underneath the carpet. And so that's basically what you can't see that you basically need to get out of your carpet is the deep down stuff that you need to have for vacuum cleaners. So agitation is one of the most key parts to, in my opinion, the three most important parts that you need to have for a vacuum cleaner if you want to have clean carpets. Because unfortunately, if you can't have all those three, those dot and grins from in the carpet, they can ruin the carpet, like not just the fibers, but also underneath them to where it can just totally ruin it. And carpet is one of the most expensive things when it comes to homeowners today. And also, it's one of the reasons lots of people are choosing not to put carpet in and are replacing the carpets with bare floors. So that is why agitation is one of the most important parts that you need to look for when you're buying a vacuum cleaner.
And am I remembering correctly that you said something about when the sand is not taken out, it starts cutting the carpet fibers?
So when it comes to carpet fibers, you don't really want or even need to have the carpet fibers up. Um, I mean, sure, when you put new carpet down, of course, you're going to need to clean some fiber up, but you don't need to get all the fiber up because unfortunately, without fiber, the carpet is not going to feel as much soft and not going to feel as comfy. So that's one of the um, most important uh, things that people look for out of carpets is just um, feeling that nice, soft ground when people hit their feet on the floor. So now, personally, I love putting a carpet on my floors because um, I'm not a huge fan putting my feet on bare floors just because they don't um, make my feet that feel comfortable as well, especially if you have foot problems as well. And so personally, I like having carpet just because not only it feels smoother to my feet, but also it makes my feet feel warmer as well. Because sometimes if you put a bare feet on some bare floors, it's just going to feel pretty cold, honestly. And especially um, not a very popular opinion, but especially if you have dust and even some dirt on top of the bare floor, it's just going to automatically stick to your feet. And with carpet, not as much.
Now, are there any special considerations regarding vacuums when it comes to like Persian rugs or kinds that you need to be a little bit more careful with, treat more delicately, want to preserve, and are not going to just tear out wall to wall and put some new ones in? Like maybe they have sentimental value; they could be an heirloom. Do you have to have special vacuum considerations for that?
So yes, there are some vacuum cleaners out there today that are specifically designed for areas like those high-end wool carpets to where you know some vacuum cleaners they'll just eat and shred the fibers out of those, and that's definitely something you don't want to have. So there are some companies, and they even still continue to make today some tools that are specifically designed for that. Not only can um, clean very well and save your fibers from um, tearing out or not. But also they make your vacuum work a lot better, like pushing and pulling, because sometimes when you get very thick area rugs or not, it is usually difficult to push and pull with your vacuum cleaner, especially with vacuum cleaners with what's called a height adjustment, to where it raises the proper height of the setting of your carpet as you're going. Um, so there are some tools and mechanisms designed for those type of things, to where they can work just as easy as just like using that everything else, without having to destroy anything else like that.
And you said agitation was one of the three things. What were the other two?
So the second most important part is called airflow, and the third is suction. Now, sometimes I get people confused with suction versus airflow. So let's take a look back of what um, the comparison is between the two. Now, when it comes to explaining what airflow is, I usually point out to people as a tornado. So a tornado can pick a house up, but most people would probably expect to see a house go all the way up on top of the funnel. Well, unfortunately, that's usually not the case. And when you see a tornado, you usually see lots of debris on the bottom instead of the top, because um, it usually stays on the bottom. That's basically what airflow is. The stuff that basically the wind that you're feeling outside that's blowing up onto you or pulling back, that's basically what airflow is. And so when you go outside and you see a bunch of leaves and dust blowing, all of that, that's basically um, what you need to have for a vacuum cleaner, is something with high enough airflow or wind to pick up those dry particles out of the carpet and into your vacuum cleaner. Now, when it comes to suction, now suction is a whole different thing. Now, referring back to the tornado, if the tornado were to pick the house up, and people would think that it would go all the way up to the funnel, which unfortunately not. But say that if it were to do that, that's basically what suction is. So what basically suction is originally designed to do, um, suction is actually originated to pick up water. So you get some special cleaners up there, like a carpet cleaner or a hardwood floor cleaner, to pick up water off the carpet. So that's basically what suction is originally designed, and is basically to suck up water. Um, it's not dirt, because a I don't have a vacuum cleaner with me to show you, but say that I were to get like a piece of coin like this, and I were to put it on my hand. I take a end of the hose out of the vacuum, put it on my hand, and just let the vacuum run to see if it can try to pick up a piece of coin. But after you turn the vacuum off completely, and when you pull the house, you're going to find that unfortunately the coin is still going to be there, because the vacuum had enough sealed suction to where it cannot pick anything up, because it's not designed to pick up any dust or leaves off the carpet. That's basically what airflow is. If it was, if it were to pick up suction without any air involved, it would totally just suck it right up. So that's basically um, what suction is. Now, I still say that that's the third most important part because um, in order to have a carpet that's completely clean, you got to first have agitation to beat all the dust up. Then you got to have the airflow to pick all the dust and dirt off the floor. But unfortunately, just like the tornado demonstration we talked about, it's still not going to suck the house up entirely through the funnel. That is where suction is going to come in last because there's going to be all bunch of dirt waiting on the brush hole to be picked up and off the carpet. Um, you would need to have suction to transfer all of that dirt into like a vacuum canister or a bag to trap all of the dirt and germs and whatever you suck up out of your carpet and out of your home. So those are the three um, elements that you need to have for a vacuum cleaner if you want to have clean carpets or floors.
So basically, to recap, agitation is the earthquake, airflow is the tornado, and suction is like if the tornado allowed the house to move up.
Yes.
Okay, I think I've got it. Thank you. And I also remember you saying central vacuum, I think is what you would think is best. I guess I've always imagined, I've only encountered it a few times, but it seemed like that suction is coming from so far away, it can't possibly be doing that great of a job. Like maybe if you have just like some Cheerios to get up or something, that could do it. But it seemed like, oh, it must not be as powerful or something. But you think it's one of the best. So why would that be so great for a house?
So yeah, there's actually been people questioning central vac systems where they think they're not as powerful just because it sits so far away from the house, or you have the hose plugged into the other side of the house. Well, there's a lot of central vac companies out there that use motors that are actually larger than a typical motor in like a particular upright or a canister vacuum cleaner. As a matter of fact, there are some central vac um, systems out there where instead of just having one big suction motor, they can actually have two or even three suction motors, depending on the size of the house, because they knew that with a bunch of piping in the wall and with a bunch of square footage in the house, that is going to reduce that power. And so they designed central vacs to where they try to make it as powerful as possible to where you can still get um, equal amounts powerful or even better than a typical um, upright or canister vacuum cleaner.
And all
However, um, so the drawback to this though is that they do require a lot of power, um, 30 amps or even 50 amps. As a matter of fact, some central vacs require 240 volts instead of 120. And so that's something to keep in mind with central vac. Is one of the other drawbacks is the amount of power that you're going to need to have. But with the way that homes are now changing, I mean, we got LED lights that are coming. Um, we are using solar panels. Um, people are going to criticize that central vacuums are going to drain lots of power. Well, with the technology that we're having today, and with a bunch of home energy savings that they can actually use and cost just as much, maybe if not better, than using a portable vacuum cleaner because of that reason. So that's one of the other criticisms with central vacs. But the thing that I usually like about central vacs the best is not only they are easier and more maneuverable to use, but also I typically find it to be more powerful because of that 2 or 3 suction mode I was talking about, but also they are the number one benefit of getting rid of all of the dust, dander, allergens out of your home because it's all taken outside of your home. As a matter of fact, Canada now requires every new um, home that is getting built to have a central vac put in inside because they are a huge health advantage in our society today. And my most favorite part about central vacs is actually home investment. They can actually add more value into your home than you can even realize. So that's another part that I really do like about central vacuum cleaners the best.
And do you have to get the hoses that go from the wall back to where it's taking the debris? Are they smooth? Are they those crinkly accordion ones? Like, how do you clean those out and make sure things aren't getting stuck?
So the pipes that are in the walls are much larger than a typical wand or even hose inside your vacuum. So it's actually designed to where it is less likely to clog than you realize. The chances of it to clog your vacuum cleaner are basically things that you pick up, like say you like to pick up a piece of toy that goes through your pie. So that's basically how they can get clogged is basically people picking up stuff that they shouldn't. But generally, most of the time, it is very rare to see a clog in a central vac because, again, the pipes are designed to be much larger so where it can be um, less likely to clog up your system.
Is there a way to clean out though? Like, let's say you just want to, maybe you're a new owner and you don't want the other people's skin cells that they are sucking up with dust. Is there a way to get that clean?
So yes, there are ways to where you can definitely for sure um, unclog your central vac. So say that you got your outlet clogged. One possible thing you can do is to get your typical shop vac or wet dry vac and plug it in to the hose that your central vac inlet is clogged and reverse the suction to unclog the thing. And typically that usually works most of the time. A second option, I rarely see this most of the time, is basically you can get an auger to the same kind of auger that the plumbing companies use to unclog their toilets and their sinks. I've also seen central vac contractors do the same thing to unclog their things as well. Unlikely, but that's another um, thing that you could do to unclog. But the my most favorite part about unclogging things, like you say, you don't want any other germs or stuff that people would suck up. They have what's called central vac maintenance cloths. So basically, they come in like a thing that looks like a Clorox wipe or what. So you take one of those wipes out, you get it out, you get your central vac hose, and basically you suck it all up. You do that to each outlet, and you could even do it as many times as you want. You can not only do it once in your outlet, but you can do it two, three, or four, or five more times, depending on how many wipes that you have left. And um, so not only it wipes all of the stuff out of the pipes and out of the hose completely, but also it's got a special odor inside of it to where it actually smells, in my personal opinion, one of my favorite smells I've ever smelled ever.
Are those wipes?
So yeah, those wipes that I was talking about. So it's not just like a just a simple damp thing. It's got like a special cleaner to where I'm not only gonna it clean and sanitize with pipes, but also it smells really good, leaving the system completely fresh and clean, so that you're not smelling any mold or mildew inside your hose or your piping.
So could you take washable microfibers and let those get sent through and then go pick them back up where the thing empties?
You could. It actually does depend on what kind of wipes you're looking at. It's specifically got to be made of what type of wipe it is, because unfortunately, if you're not using the right kind of wipe, it can easily clog up your system.
Oh,
So yeah, so yeah, if you wanted to save money, um, you can just get one of those wipes, just spray a little bit of some cleaner in there and just suck it up yourselves. But personal, in my opinion, I just use the disposable wipes with that special kind of cleaner that they put in there because, like I said, in my opinion, it's one of my most favorite smells I've ever smelled. And I don't think I have found any other cleaner that smells just as good as those wipes.
Well, that's probably one of their best selling points. You can try this with your own materials, but you'll never get a scent like we have. So I have learned so much about earthquakes, tornadoes, and bringing the house up in the tornado, and central vac and why, and such great things. So I thank you so much for sharing with us today. And I hope everyone listening now feels better informed to make better decisions with their vacuums. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much. And for those of you who are interested to learning more about what kind of vacuums I have, because I also have a vacuum collection and I show them off to my YouTube channel. If you just type in Panasonic vac, it's on my channel. I have over 3,500 subscribers. One of my videos just automatically hit up to 1 million views. Um, that just shows off of half of what I've got in my collection right now. So it's not just vacuum cleaners I just talked about, but I also even collect them as well. So if you're interested, I highly recommend to check out my channel if you'd like to see more of what I got.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It sounds like your electronics are ready to go as well. And thank you very
Yep.
much. And hopefully,
Yeah. Yeah. And before you close out, that thing you just heard that going on, that is my washer. I currently have a vacuum bag that I'm currently servicing from one of my vacuums that I am doing right now. Because not only I talk about vacuums, I collect vacuums, but I also repair vacuum cleaners as well. So I got one of the vacuum parts just got done washing the washing machine, and also this vacuum cord that I got right here. I actually washed this and soaked this in my sink.
wow.
So yeah, this particular cord right here, I can definitely wash this in my sink with no problem, as long as you have it dry completely. I have been doing this for a while now, and I've not had any problems. So don't do this at home. Have a trained technician like me or at your other local vacuum store clean these types out for you. So,
Very helpful and important information. So we know where to go when we have our vacuum questions. Thank you so much.
all right, and I thank you very much for your time.